Hi guys, my name is Arnab and today we are going to study about dictionaries. So dictionaries in Python are basically a data structure that is used to store a data in a particular way. Like for example, we have arrays. Similarly, we have dictionaries. Now, before jumping into dictionary, knowing what is dictionary, how does it works, how does we append data, how does we how do we update data, we'll first look about lists. So, what is a list? A list is a type of a data structure that stores data, and we have indices, suppose 0 1 2 3 4 5 6 7, and we have at every indices we have some data. For example, we can take any data like 5 8 7 9 10 something. Now suppose we don't want these keys, like for example these are the keys and these are the data, right? Now suppose we do not want the keys as 0 1 2 3. We want these keys as something else. Like for example, we can have like a b c. We want keys this 0 as a and this 1 as b c d. Now we cannot do this in a list, and here comes the use of dictionary. So basically a dictionary in Python, obviously dictionary is something like key value pairs. Like list is also a key value pair, right? But dictionary, the keys can be very specific to us. Like for example, in list the keys are fixed, like it has to be 0 1, as in we call those indices, right? And it has to be fixed. But in dictionary these keys can vary. Like for example, I want a key named as a, and I want a value, suppose 100. This is a string value. It may be a normal value, for example an integer value, or maybe a float value. Suppose we have b, and this value may be 99 as integer or 99.08 as float, something like this. Also, one of the major advantage with dictionaries is we can append lists in dictionaries, or we can append dictionaries in a dictionary. For example, like I'll show you. Suppose we have a dictionary named d, and we have a key named a, and that has a value, suppose 100. Now we will have a variable key named arr, and in this we can store a list. We can store a list of numbers, for example 1 2 3 4. Also we can have a dictionary, suppose named as dict, as a key, and we can have values like for example b in this, and it can have a value like 90, and c in it can have a value like 80, and so on, right? Pardon me, the space is very less over here. So yes, so this is how we can, this is one of the major advantage of a dictionary, that it can contain anything as key and anything as values. These values may be a list items, or maybe a dictionary items, anything it could be. So now we'll be looking how to create a dictionary. Like for example, if you want b is equal to a dot copy, right? This is a very simple way. Like for example, a dictionary is built for us and we just copy that dictionary, right? Now another way is, like for example, we have a dictionary named c, and we do is ticked, and suppose we have a variable a, and we store in this variable, pardon me, I have made a little bit mistake, right? So we have dict, and in this we have a list, and like this we can store. Suppose we have ti as a variable, and that is the value of that key ti is 3, and also we have A as a key, and the value of that is 10. Also we have 2 as a key and the value is 3, right? So check these, like for example this one and this one, while writing a dictionary in this way. Like these are, I'm telling you these ways because these are the different ways, but at the end I'll give you the one of the most consolidated ways that is used universally to create a dictionary, right? Also the third way is using, suppose we have a dictionary named D, and we'll use dict dot from keys, and we will store this, we'll store the keys, right? So suppose we have a key called ABC, and 32 we have a key, and 4 we have a key, right? So this dictionary will look like this: ABC with a value none, and 32 with value none, and 4 with value none. So from keys just define the keys of this particular key of that dictionary, and if we place some values, like for example if we place some values here, I'll mark it. If we place some values here, then it would be these keys would be assigned that value. Like we'll be discussing that in next step. So the fourth way is to do is dict dot from keys, and suppose we'll just copy paste this, right? These will be the keys, and with this we provide a value 10, right? So this 10 would be assigned to each of these keys. Like this dictionary will look like with a value 10, 32 with a value 10, and 4 with a value 10, right? So these are some ways that in which we create dictionary. One of the major point in creating, while we should remember while using dictionaries, is dictionaries, pardon me with my handwriting, dictionaries are mutable. Now the next big thing is how to access the data from the dictionary, right? Like is suppose we have a dictionary named A, so we'll get a dot get, and we will type the key value. So before everything, first let us create a dictionary. So suppose we have A, and we'll be having datas like with the key as A and 10. Suppose no, sorry, let us make it more unique, right? So we have a key ABC, and that has a data 10. Again we have a key DBEF, and we have a data 20, right? Now the first way is a dot get, and we will give the key value. So this is the syntax, and this is the syntax of this how to get. So let us give an example. Suppose a dot get, and we have suppose BF, right? So if we print this value, suppose x is equal to, and if we print x, then the value of x would be 20. Similarly, the second way, okay, so we can also have all the keys separated. Like for example, if we type a dot keys, we will get all the keys. Like for example, the output would be looking like this: dict keys, and with keys as ABC, comma DEF. Similarly, we can have all the values like a dot values. So it will be out, the output would be dict dot values, and suppose 10, 20, right? So this is how we get the values and the keys of the dictionary, right? So if we want that we have we should be able to see all the key value pairs. So we can do is, suppose we have a dictionary A, we do have a dictionary A, and we type A dot items. This is items, not whatever I've written, ITEMS, right? So it gives all the key value pair, keys and values as pairs. Like for example, if the dictionary is ABC, so it will be like ABC comma 10, right? Then again BEF comma 20, right? Now suppose if there is no key present, like for example we for in this case, if we do that A dot get XYZ, so we do not have a key XYZ in our dictionary, so this will return none, right? It won't be throwing any error, it would be returning none. Now the big question is, how do we append all the dictionary items in a loop? Like for example, if we want to append dictionaries, if we have the key and a value pair, right, we start putting those individually, like writing it in different lines, it won't help, right? So the big question is, how do we append a dictionary in using a loop? So suppose we have some values. Suppose we have a dictionary and D, right? And we want to append the this dictionary using a for loop, right? And suppose we want to get the output as, suppose ABC1 as 0, again ABC2 as 1, ABC3 as 2, and so on. We'll iterate over that. So we have an empty dictionary and we want to create a dictionary like this. So one of the ways is to put these each and individual keys in the dictionary, and then the value, then again a key, then again a value, then again a key, then again a value, and so on. That is a long process, and we are engineers, right? So we won't be depending on this process. We'll be trying to append this dictionary using a loop, right? So let us try. So stay with me. If I write those codes, the lines of code, stay with me, then we'll see that this output will be coming or not, right? So for I hope you're comfortable in writing for loops in Python, right? So for I in range, suppose here we have two value up till 3. So I in range 3, D ABC plus str I is equal to I plus 1, right? So how does this operated? Like what happened in this loop? Let us see. For example, for I in range 3, so I would be 0, right? And see this format of appending dictionary. I told you in the starting that we'll see a universal format of appending a dictionary. So hold on to this format, and we'll see how does it append. So we'll dry run the code, and I'll change the color because this would be a bit helpful. So I is equal to 0, right? Now once we come to this, so ABC is the key, is a string, plus if we convert this I into a string, that would be ABC 0. Okay, we made some mistakes. I definitely think you would have caught those mistakes. So let us check what mistakes we have made. If that I would be here, if I would be 0, then this would be ABC 0, right? And this would be having a value in the dictionary as 1. We don't want this. We want this to be 1 and this to be 0, right? So we'll be making few changes, and that would be simple, very very small changes, and that is, let us change the color, right? And we'll, so let us see, let us dry run the code. So I is equal to 0. So if we, the string is ABC and plus I plus 1, that is 0 plus 1 is 1, we convert it into a string by this keyword, and then we append, concatenate these two strings, so it becomes ABC1. And for this ABC1 we have a value I is equal to 0, right? So this we have replicated, right? Now again, after this completion of this loop, 1 0 becomes 1. So again we have ABC, and we convert this, I plus I is 1, 1 plus 1 is 2, so this is 2, and this becomes ABC2, and we have a value 1, that is I, and we place this. So we have replicated this one also. In the similar fashion we have replicated this one. So you see this, that this is one of the universal format of appending into a dictionary, right? When we'll be, look, we have a dictionary, that is fine, but we have to use this dictionary during any operations, like for example any simple program, we need the dictionary, for example finding pair sum or something like that. So we need to append those dictionaries, and this is one of the universal way of, not a universal, you can use other ways, but this is one of the ways I like to append a dictionary, right? Okay, so now we will see that how do we update a dictionary using A, and we have value 3, key as 3 and value as 8. Again we have key as 9 and value as 12. Now we have another dictionary B, and suppose we have a key there T, and that has a value 3. Again we have a key, suppose name, and we have a value 800, right? And if we do B dot update A, please stay with me with this command, and I'll show you what does this command do. And we will be doing the code walkthrough of each and every command we have explored, right? So this is a theoretical part, and after this we'll be having a code walkthrough, and where I'll show you that each and every command gives what output, right? So the output would be B is equal to right. So this is the way how does an update command works. Like for example, we have a dictionary, we have two dictionaries in which we want to merge those two dictionaries, so we use this update command, and this is pretty easy. Now we'll see how do we delete or maybe pop delete a particular delete data from a dictionary, right? So we will use that pop command. For example, we have a dictionary A, and we use a dot pop, and we write the key value. Bear me with my handwriting, this is, I'm pathetic, right? So we have a dictionary, let us say A, and we have keys as A, sorry, let us make more unique, ABC, and we have a data 10, and we have DEF, and we have data 20, right? And if we do a dot pop and we write the key ABC, then this expression this expression, we will return the value of that key that is you are going to delete, right? And then if we try to print this dictionary, then this would have only one key. If you try to print this dictionary, so if we have one key and one value, right? If we have more keys in this, then we would be seeing those all keys. That means what I'm trying to say is this particular key and key pair value would be deleted, and this would return the value of this key. So if we give this expression a variable x is equal to a dot pop abc, and we try to print x, then the output of this or the print statement will print the value 10, right? I hope you are getting me. If any doubt regarding these commands and all, also you can study some of the commands online. Why? Because these commands are pretty easy and anybody can get an hands-on experience with this. So, and if you are facing any doubt, then please write to us in the comment section, and we'll be continuously be updating the doubts, right? Okay, so now we'll be seeing that how do we loop through a dictionary, right? Like for example, we have different we have a dictionary and we have different data key value pairs in the dictionary. So how do we loop through all of those keys and we print the specific data of the dictionary? Like for example, we have a dictionary D, and in that we have A, which has a value 10. We have B, which has a value 20. We have E, which has a value 18. We have F, which has a value 30, I guess, anything, right? And now what we'll do is, how do we traverse this complete dictionary, and we print the values corresponding to each of the keys. Like we'll be taking conditions when we'll be moving through the course. We'll be taking conditions in dictionaries. Like for example, we want to print only the numbers which are less than 15, right? So we have only one number, right? So in this way, we need to traverse each and every element of a dictionary. How do we do that? So stay with me when I write the code, and then we'll be dry running it, and we'll be getting into the explanation, right? So for I in D, I hope you're comfortable in writing loops. If you're not comfortable, please go through the other lectures, and in that looping is explained very nicely, right? So for I in D, print, pardon, my handwriting is terrible, print D I, right? And the output of this code, what does this means? What does when this particular thing means? So this is what, when in a dictionary D, when we iterate through a dictionary, what does this first line, let us first explain about learn about this first line, and then we'll be learning about this, what does this means, right? So when we write for I in D as in the dictionary, so when we write this, so I means it will iterate through every key. Like first I will be A, then I will be B, then I will be E, then I will be F, right? So I would be holding the values of holding the keys, right? So when we try to print dictionary of I, as in we are trying to print dictionary and get the key value, this also can be written as print. This is same as print D dot get, and we write keys inside it. So this is exactly the same. Like if we write in this way, or if we write in this way, both of the ways are exactly same, right? So I would be holding the keys, and when we write DI, that is we are referring to the dictionary D, and in which we have a key named as I, and I would be holding these values A, sorry for this, I would be holding values A or B or E. So the output of this particular code would be 10, 20, 18, 30, right? And this is how we loop over a dictionary. We can apply conditions, like for example, if we want to print the numbers that are less than 15, I guess. So what we will do is, for I in D, now we will apply condition if D of I, that means the key, the value of this key I, and this I is A, B, or E, or some of the keys. So if D of I is less than or is equal to 15, then we print D of I, else we don't print anything, right? So output of this would be 10 only. It will traverse each and every element, and then it will, after in this step, it will traverse through each and every. Let us dry run it, right? That would be giving us a more better understanding. So when suppose the dictionary, let us copy the dictionary here for our understanding. So right, so there we go. So when for I in D, that means I is pointing to this, that means I is A. If D of I, that is dictionary value, this is referring to the value, is less than 15, yes, it is less than 15, then we will be printing. Now after this, A would be, so I would be here, and the D of I would be 20. So if this value is less than 15, no, it's not less than 15, so it won't be getting printed. Again after this, this pointer would move, that means this is I, right? So this I would move here at E, and this, and D of I would be referring to 18. And is 18 less than is equal to 15? No, it's not. So then again it will move forward to F, and D of I would be referring to 30, right? And is 30 less than is equal to 15? No, it's not. Now after this we do not have any more keys, so here it ends the loop, and the output we get is 10, right? It's pretty simple. So now after this basic introduction about dictionaries, we'll be looking into the problem. What we want to do is, we want to print all the words with that frequency. Suppose I am making a random string, as in this is a string with many string. This is a random string. Please don't try to find a meaning of this string. It has no meaning, I guess, whatsoever. And we are given a k, suppose 2. And what we want to do is, suppose this is repeated only once in this complete string, is also repeated once, A is also repeated once, string is repeated twice, many is repeated twice. So what we want to do is, we want to print those words which are repeated twice, as in the number is given as k, right? So we want to print those words which are repeated k times, that is 2 times. For this example, that is 2 times. Now how do we go? Like, before seeing the video explanation further, please press pause button and think, give it a try for yourself. If you're not able to do, then please come back and watch the video. I think you have given a try. If you don't have given a try, I insist you just give a try first, and then watch this explanation, right? Okay, so let us see how do we do this. And I suppose we'll be going to the screen and doing this, because writing this code and debugging it won't help. So I'll go to that editor, and then we'll be writing this code together. If you have done it, very good. Skip this part, go to the next part. If you haven't done it yet, then stay with me. It's not an issue. Stay with me, and we'll be doing this together, right? I'll be using a PyCharm editor as in to edit, and yes, so we are given a string. I think the text size is not that big. I think this would be visible. So yes, we are given a text string, and the string was, what was our string? The string was, this is a string with many string, no meaning as such. Right, and we have a value that is 2. So how do we do this? Now, I had made a mistake here. It's many string, right? And how do we do this? So we will be familiar with a function called split, and if you are not familiar, then we'll be we'll be studying this in some other part. Now what split does is it splits the each word of this particular string, this string into a different word. Like for example, this would be a different word, is also is a different word, string will be also a different word. So we will be using this. Suppose we have a variable word, and what we do is s dot split. See the autocomplete features also, and we will be giving a space. This means that this particular string will be splitted using that space. Like every space, with every space, this two words will be splitted. Now the default is also a space, so if we don't give us space, that will be also working. Like for example, this word will also work. Like for example, we'll try to print this word, and we'll see that what exactly this is, right? So let us not debug, sorry, let's not debug this, and let us print this. So see here, the output is, you see no, that this word is a list that contains the splitted string. Like this is a different string, is a different string, string is also a different word that is as a string, right? Now we won't be requiring this, so we'll be commenting this out, right? And what next? So look, we can do sorting, but sorting would be costly as in the time complexity of sorting will be more. Why it will be more? Because any sort we apply, that time complexity will be more, and we'll be talking about time complexity in some other lecture. For this lecture, you just know that time complexity of sorting will be more, right? So what did we study, right? Because this example was taken to implement a dictionary, right? So what we will do is we'll create a dictionary, we'll store each word of this string into that dictionary, and we will also along with it store all the frequencies of those words occurring, right? For example, let us stay with me, we'll go through the code and we'll be dry running it, right? So let us see what we do. So let us create a dictionary. Creating a dictionary is very simple. This is how we create a dictionary in Python. Line number 5 tells us how do we create a dictionary in Python. It's very easy. Python language is very easy, right? Now we'll be traversing the word list, or you may say array. So for I in word, I think you will be comfortable with for loop. If not, there are other lectures that are going to come, and I'll be talking about for loops and nested conditions in that lecture, right? So for I in word, now we need to append, because what I told you is this I would traverse, like the I would be this, I would be is, I would be string, and so on. So what we do is we have to store this into a dictionary. So D I is equal to no sorry first we need to check that this particular string is stored in the dictionary or not, right? So stay with me. If I in D, then what we'll do is we'll increase the count of the frequency, right? So what we'll do is we'll be increasing the count of the frequency. So D I plus is equal to 1. Else, if this is not the case, else what we'll do is we'll implement this with count 1, right? So D I is equal to 1, right? So if we'll be implementing this with count 1. Now so what we do is we traverse the dictionary. So for traversing the dictionary for I in D, or maybe let us take an example or change the variable for X in D. This what we do for X in D, and now we will be traversing each of the elements. So this will be traversing in each of the elements. Now we'll be checking that frequency that we have stored, like it's a key value pair, right? So the keys are the words of this particular string, and the values is the frequency, that how many times it has occurred in that particular string, right? So what we will do is D of if D of I is equal to K, right? D of X, sorry, my mistake. D of X is equal to K. Then what we do is print that value, that is X, right? And if that is not equal to X, we don't do anything, right? So this is the code, how it looks like. Let us see that are we getting the desired result or not, and then we'll be, if we don't get the desired result, we'll be debugging it, right? Yes. So we have word string 2 times and word many 2 times, right? And the frequency is also 2, right? Suppose if I change the frequency, let's do some chirkhani with the code, right? So yes, let us change some stuffs, and yes. So yes, now you see this is with are these are the 3 words that have a frequency 1. Now suppose let us see that do we have a word with frequency 3? No. See, there is no no output. So let us convert it to 2 and check it again. Yes. So yes, we have achieved, and we are sorted, right? So we'll be seeing further. So next on, moving on, we'll be seeing how to implement our own hash maps. Like these are the hash maps, like so we do this is a dictionary that is inbuilt in Python that has key value pairs, right? Now what we do is we'll be trying to implement our own hash maps, and we can do anything with it. Like it has a key value pair, we can do some other steps. We'll be storing, like we'll be having 1 key and 2 values, 1 key and 8 values, something like this. So till then, practice this, see more questions on internet, because at the end of the day, these things are easy. These are not so rocket science, and these can be done, right? See you.